Hey guys, Kevin here, and oh my gosh, it's Christmas morning, it's finally here. Claude 3.7 is out. Now, you may be saying, Kevin, who cares? 3.7, like what? No, nobody cares about a point release of some random model. No. So, back when Claude 3.6 came out, this is in the fall, all the AI coding agents were like, kind of good, kind of okay. You get like 80% of the way there. It wasn't until that little tweak, whatever they did to make 3.6 come out, that you started to see things like Bolt and Lovable really take off. You started to see Cursor just become this powerhouse from, hey, it's nice for autocompleters from chat, but the addition of the agent task, being able to do autonomously, just go through and just do huge pieces of code and work for you, it's a game changer, right? And so there's been a ton of models that have come out lately. O1 has been amazing, O3 Mini, we've had Grok 3, which looks cool, we've got Gemini 2 has a lot of great capabilities. This random release, the 3.7, has been the one that I've been most excited about, and I think it's going to most impact me day to day, and I am just thrilled to try this out. Now, you can read through this post here. There's a lot of really interesting details here. The biggest thing to take away from the Claude release is they're really focused on code, and also, don't throw out a lot of these benchmarks, okay? This is my sense from what we've seen earlier with Sonnet 3.5. This is a vibe. This is a vibe model. This thing just works for real world tasks. And they even call that out. Best in class for real world coding tasks. And significant improvements with handling complex code base. I'm so excited to try this out. The other thing that they dropped, which is really interesting, I haven't tried this yet, but they actually built their own coding tool. So this is, it's a terminal-based thing. Looks pretty basic. You can jump in here and kind of see how this works. I'll give this a shot earlier, but honestly, it's perfect timing because this week I've been working on the series of how do we build our own cursor from the ground up. I went through this morning, actually released a video showing how things work with cursor behind the scenes. And later this week, I wanted to actually throw out a command-based tool that actually wires this up, and you guys can actually use and see behind the scenes. Fully open source, we'll make it available. More of a learning type of experience so you can see how these things work. But being able to use 3.7 Sonnet with that, it's actually going to be really cool. And if you dig into like what they actually did to accomplish this, it's so simple. It's the model with a couple of basic tools in a loop, and it just works, which is just mind-blowing to me. So can't wait to try that out, and stay tuned for later this week. We'll kind of build our own. All right, let's jump into it. So full disclosure, I have not touched anything with Sonnet 3.7. I wanted to turn on my recorder here. It's my lunch break. Wasn't going to do a video today, but it's just too exciting to do this. So guys, let's just try this out. We're going to just do some vibes. We're going to see how this thing works. And we're going to just try to build a new thing real quick here just to see how well Sonnet performs. Okay, so guys, if you haven't seen my videos, I've got this starter repo that works. Let's go ahead and just clone into this. So it's totally fresh thing here. Say starter. Let's install, get everything going here. Okay, and then once this gets going, we're going to fire up Cursor. Now, the Cursor team obviously has had access to 3.7 behind the scenes. They've been testing it. They came out with the latest version that an hour ago that has it set up. No, the Cursor team is not super cracked and they get access to it. They throw it together. No, of course not, guys. These companies are getting access to these models ahead of time, which is great because they can test it, get it ready for us to start to use it. And so that's what's happening here. Okay, we're installing. And once this goes, I'll open up. I'm going to pause here. Fast forward. Okay, so we've got everything installed. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay. So, first thing to notice, along with the Sonnet upgrade, we have a new version here. So this is, what is this, 446? I forget exactly the name of this. So we were using 0.463. Okay. The exciting news at Cursor, they have a new head of design who looks amazing, has already put some fingerprints here on kind of some of the new things here. So we have chat and agent that are combined. You can kind of switch back and forth here, I think. Yeah, so here's agent mode. Yeah, so you can go back and forth. That's cool. Just a little cleanup here. Again, this is my first time really kind of looking at this, but we have some new models. So exciting. Here we go. 3.7 and 3.7 thinking. Okay. Sonnet's really cool because they actually pulled together the reasoning, sort of the fast model and the thinking model together, and so you can use both of these in the same exact model. You don't have to switch back and forth between like a 1 Pro that takes 3-4 minutes to get something back, and then go to like GPT-4 that gets something back quickly. It's all together. And we'll kind of see how this works. So what I'm going to do here, again, guys, I'm just building this out. I have no idea. So you guys know me. I have usually my task list that's done in sort of this checklist format with Markdown, and then I will have the Cursor agent go and complete these tasks. Usually I'll go to O1 or a thinking model. But since we have access to Sonnet Thinking, let's try it out here. Let's see how it does. So I'm just going to start talking. Here's what I want to build. I'd like to build a new application that is basically a replica of a 1980s style arcade machine. I want to have the ability to choose between 3 to 5 different arcade games that would have been popular back in the 80s. It's up to you to decide what games should be in there. Also, I want to build this out using Storybook. So let's start for the series of tasks here. I want to use Atomic Design, and I want to build all the components and then bring it all together into a single top-down story that I can access in Storybook that has the full working implementation. I want you to break down this task into a series of 1 story point stories and use a similar format to the Cursor tasks list that is a Markdown enabled checklist. Everything's unchecked, and I want you just to create this checklist for me. Remember, this is a series of 1 story point stories to build a 80s arcade machine from scratch, and output this as a cursor task.md, update that file to be all of the stories in a checklist format. All right, we'll see if that works. Hey, we got something there. Let's yellow it. Hopefully it's close enough. Okay, so we're going to add these files to the Cursor chat. I want Composer. Okay, I guess it's chat now. Fine. So basically, let's see if it'll do this. Okay. Again, we're vibe testing this. I haven't actually. Oh, look at this. We got thinking. This is fun. This is really cool, actually. So this thinking is going to be really useful for us to actually start to debug and start to see where things go wrong with the model and where we need to clarify. Okay, so it's going to go through here. So we said, let me first check to see if the file, we need to update this or not. And remember this video from this morning, if you guys haven't seen that, we're digging into all the tools that Cursor has access to. So you can see here, we're doing a search for this very specific file name, right? That was one of our tools. And so you can see what it did there. It found it, and it's generating something. So, okay, generating. And we will see what happens there. And so kind of the plan here, guys, is we want to first make this this list. And let's see here. I'm going to copy this before it goes away. Oh, we got it. Okay, and here we go. Okay, cool. So notice it went from Hello World, now it's an 80s machine application thing. Okay, we've got all this stuff here. We have all these things. Okay, well, look at this. We got all the thing. Source for all UI. That's right. Components. Yep. Lib stories. Yep. Cool. I love it. Styling variables. Look at it. It's telling it to configure Tailwind with the 80s style. This is so cool. Pixel style font families. I love this. This is so cool. Okay. I'm not going to go through all that. Look at how detailed this is, guys. This is so awesome. We're going to have game selection. We got Pac-Man. This is going to be so cool. Alien Invaders and Space Invaders. This is perfect. And Tetris. Oh, I freaking love Tetris, guys. I used to Game Boy Tetris. Like, that was That was my jam when I was 12 years old. I'm excited. But look at the detail here. First of all, vibe check off the charts. This is so exciting. This is something that would take me, remember, I'd have to go to repo prompt, I'd have to do all this stuff. No more, hopefully. This just does it. And this is so, so exciting. Let's just try going in the same chat window here. So we'll see how well it kind of stays on track here, but let's go ahead and let's just kick this off. So this is what we had before. Go through each task. After you complete updates, blah, 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 right? Don't take a screenshot. We don't need this. Let's get rid of this thing. Okay. Just do it. Just do it. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, guys, what if we make like an actual like 80s arcade? This is so cool. So let's see. So initialize this. So it's going to first check it correctly identified. We have everything set up. Got all the dependencies. And again, tools, look at this. So it's doing our directory listing. Do you guys remember that? Checking to see if storybook's set up. Great. So it's basically, it's assessing my code base. Now, if you remember from my video, best case scenario, oh, look at this. It's going to make okay, cool. It's going to add some images. Oh my gosh, is it actually going to do that? Okay, cool. So it basically went through there and it's marking off these tasks. Are we actually marking off? Come on. Mark. This would be cool. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to get rid of all the old pieces there just so you guys can see this step by step. Here we go. We got our X's. I love it. Okay. Now let's see what it does with the styling. I'm really excited about this. What is it going to do? What do you think it's going to do? I have no idea. But you guys know like what an 80s aesthetic looks like. So I'm so curious to see what it's going to come up with here. This is awesome. All right, we're generating. All right, this file's not too long. This is our CSS here. I was thinking it's gotta like search the entire 80s to find like the perfect shade of yellow and red for the Pac-Man and for the Tetris. This is gonna be so fun. Of course, I'm not gonna know what these are. Although I think actually I have a plugin for VS Code that will actually show some of these colors. Press start to P. What is this? It's got some sort of crazy font that it's heard of. This is so, it's got a CRT effect. Oh my gosh, what is it doing here? This is wild. Holy cow. Arcade neon pink, green, blue. This is great. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that color. Oh, I'm thrilled with this. This is gonna be so fun. It's got a joystick. Okay, cool. Arcade flicker and scan lines. Again, like it's just going crazy here. So what do we have? It updated Tailwind too. Let's see what we did for Tailwind. Let's look at around this new interface here. So what is, okay, so here's Tailwind. Is that all it did? It added a few things to Tailwind? I don't know. Arcade flicker, joystick. Okay, here, yeah. So it got all the colors in here. Oh, it's using these CSS variables. This is so interesting. See, this is kind of a new feature. Like I generally don't do this, but that's kind of cool. Press start 2P. We'll have to figure out what that is. Okay, so we want to run this build. That's fine. I like to say this running a build is safe. Go ahead and do that. Whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to do that. So it's going to run a build. Just it's great. It's following our instructions perfectly, which is every time it completes a task, we want to run a build. We want to save this using Git, hopefully. I'm not sure if I explicitly said that or not, or if it's in my cursor rules. I can double check. But regardless, running a build is always best practice so that we're not getting tangled up, right? We're going step by step. We're doing small incremental changes as we go. We are keeping track of it with this checklist. And again, I haven't touched, I've said go. I asked for that initial start point, and then I gave us some instructions to just go through this checklist. Otherwise, I haven't done anything. Look, okay, so it's running so we're adding Git. We're doing a little check, there we go. And it is updating itself. Oh, it's even doing the cursor updates. So again, I have some rules that say, yeah, there we go, cool. Add some retro styling, this is great. Did we check off our checklist? Yes, okay. So this is so cool. Getting a new directory for arcade components. Okay, cool. Components Arcade Design. Yep, perfect. We have a color palette component. So let's do this as we're going. I'm going to kick off Storybook here, and let's see as it starts to build some of these assets, we're going to see what it looks like. This is a great starting task, is we can actually see what this color palette looks like. All right, so those of you who aren't familiar with Storybook, great tool. The reason I use Storybook, a bunch of reasons why. You guys can look at some of my older videos, but mainly it's a way for me to kind of encapsulate these small components and start to build up, using this concept of an atomic design system. Okay, this is good. It's going to restart, and there it is. It's even in folders. Our color palette. We can't find the story. Okay. Why can't we find the stories? Color palette stories. Don't take a sec. This is a good question. There it is. Whoa. Oh, I love this. What in the world is happening here? Oh, guys. It's got a cabinet. It's got these things. Oh, this is so amazing. Look at these colors. This is one thing I love about Sonnet, by the way, is it's so good at design. It's so good. Look at this crazy font it picked. Are you kidding me right now? This is amazing. These colors look great. Oh, this is so good. The design aspect alone is just like so much better than any model. I'm telling you, the vibes on this model are off the chart good, guys. Off the chart. This is so exciting. And again, we're doing this combination of, yes, we're kind of doing this fun video game thing, but we're also doing this in a way that this is actually a production level type of approach, where you start with these stories, they're testable, you can actually go through, we're not just throwing everything into one giant HTML file, throwing together some JavaScript. We're really going into details here from the design aspect, and then once you have these stories all set, it's trivial to go from there into your API layer, into your database layer, and get everything set up in a really nice, clean way. Okay, and because the stories actually start to, you almost get like commenting within the code directly. The model can quickly understand for each one of your components what types of values are coming in, what's expected out. It just the English kind of combo with the coding language really does help a lot. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. So we're doing some things. We have a typography component that we're creating here. Notice it's, this isn't a dumb thing. Like, it's using this class. We're starting to pull this together into a nice, clean. Again, we're looking for production quality here, right, guys? So we're looking at the seat. It's using TypeScript. This is really nice, clean code here. We have these colors in here. This is so cool. And we're mapping it. See, it's just using the components perfectly. This is all in one file. This is exactly what I want. This is fantastic. And here we go. We'll check out Storybook here in a minute, but notice we have all these variant styles. This is going to be a really, really clean way to actually go through and use this typography throughout our project, right? Again, we're starting from the ground up here, but we're starting with the best principles for actually building out a real production level application here. Now, could I have built this in 1/10 of the time without having all these pieces in here? Probably, I don't know, but my guess is yes. But again, I want to prove out that that Sonnet's really, really good for real world tasks, okay? Real world stuff, not just build me a quick thing. And part of what I want to test it on here too is this long context window. Can it follow a plan for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Like, how long can this thing go unattended? I'm probably gonna have to, we're gonna hit our 25 tool call limit. Cursor team, fix this, because I want this to keep going. We're at a point now, these models are good enough that you can just send it off. Again, no hands, guys. I haven't touched a single piece of code in this app. And before, I get ahead of myself, like, let's check and make sure it's actually doing stuff. But okay, so here we go. So typography, let's check this out. Oh, this is so neat. I love this, guys. I'm crying here. This is like, I can't tell you how exciting this is to see this level of detail here that is just beyond It's got this flicker effect. The depth here, right? The depth of actually understanding what I want to do, and just not just like, throwing together some stuff, but actually go through this level of detail with the story itself is such a good sign. Oh my gosh, I love it. I should throw on dark mode here in a sec to see how this works. But this looks a little dark here, darker and dark. So we can always update that. The colors are perfect. This font is unbelievable. And look at that flicker animation that it just did it. It just did it. All right, let's see what we got here. We got this screen effect. You gotta be kidding me right now. It's got the curvature. It's got these flecks. Here's the heavy curvature. You can see this. I mean, it's subtle, but you can see that little, that like gradient that's on there. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, and again, it's just churning through that list. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Oh, continue. We hit our 25 limit. Cursor. I curse you. God, it's such a dark. Okay, so we've been checking. And again, atomic structure, just so you guys know, you start off with your very base level components. Okay, you start off with the smallest possible thing, and then you start to build on top of those, and you build and you build and you build until you get that top layer. Okay, what are they called, like organisms or something? I'm not some like atomic design expert, but just using those magic words will get you something that is really nice production quality architecture from the ground up. And look at this. How far do you think this is going to go? We have sound? We're going to get sound. Oh, guys, I'm going to leave this running because, I mean, yes, I could stop here. We can move ahead. But I really want you guys to see this. Again, I haven't touched this model. This is my very first view. I want you guys to see a first view. You can feel free to fast forward to the end if you want to. But I am personally very, very excited to see if we can get this done. And my lunch break is, I've probably got another 20, 30 minutes here to mess around with this new model. But honestly, vibe checking this stuff is so important for your day-to-day. So I encourage you, if you haven't tried this yet, please try it. See how far you can push this, because once you understand kind of the limitations of these models, or where the rough points are, or when you've asked it to do too much, you can kind of back down from there. But up until then, push it. You might be surprised. If you use the right format, you use some of these tricks that I've been showing you guys about using the task list and some of these storybook and all this other stuff. Again, I've got this open source repo. You guys can fork this. It's a great place to start. It's, again, hey, I got 200 stars. This is amazing. I was like, I haven't been paying attention to this at all. That's great. But this is a really good place to start, especially if you don't have strong preferences for these things. And if you do, jump in here. You can make some adjustments. It's not that hard. Everything you can probably rip and replace as needed. But this is a really nice start. Again, you guys saw I started from a fresh clone, and this is up and running with Storybook and everything almost instantly. Okay, the button sound effect. Okay, let me turn up my volume. Oh, you guys, I'm such a dork. I grew up playing these games for real, and I know it's pretty fun. Okay, so let's see what we got. This button, is this like no, I was expecting this to be like a video game button, but it's not. We've got it in this nice design folder. Anything else here? I thought we were getting a button design effect. Oh, I see. This is interesting. Okay, so this is fair. It's basically saying, look, guys, I don't know what a button sound effect is. It's a placeholder. Go ahead and put something in there. So, and that's fair. I wouldn't expect to know exactly how to do an MP3 file from the text. That's about the best you can expect. Is we are saying here button pressed at MP3, and let's just do this. Can we get like a free button press sound 80s arcade? Oh, I'm gonna go into a mess of arcade, a mess of junk here. I usually the first one. Oh, I'm so worried about this site. So many ads, so many ads. This is, you know what, honestly, guys, I have to say, this is one area where being able to quickly build your own custom apps makes such a big difference, because the web has gotten so, I mean, look at this. It's so hard to use. Everything's got these like ads everywhere. This is like, you're searching, you're doing all this junk. I didn't want to bother with this, honestly, guys. It's such a mess. But, you know, whatever. We'll do it with the sound off for now, and we can see this. Here we go. Running the build is safe. Just do it. Okay. So we did that. Okay. So what component do we get here? We got this base. We got design. This is nice. Okay, so here's our arcade button. So for the first time, look at this. This is nice. Super clean approach here. Look at this. We have all these things, individual classes kind of separated. And then the final result is this super clean thing we're using. You know, this is so good. This is so good. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm an okay developer. I can't, like, my code doesn't look like this. It really takes a time and effort to put in all of these details to make it production ready. You know, you can quickly throw stuff together, and that's great, but like to really get it. Oh, here we go. Here's our button. Oh, look at that. Ding. Oh, you can press it. This is so cute. Oh, I love it. Different colors, different sizes, disabled. You can put, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying here. I can't wait to play this. This is so cool. The way it's kind of building it up from scratch, and again, the cursor old, whatever it was, new, this is new, whatever we're calling that thing. This just feels better. I've used this model so much over the past 4 months. I couldn't even tell you. I could show you my Anthropic build. It's very big. But through Cursor, I've been using it a ton too. And I can just tell you, I don't need to have some sort of benchmark that proves blah, blah, blah. The vibes on this thing, impeccable. Impeccable. I love it. Okay. And again, it's just going and going. Oh, we got a joystick. And so far, you know what's different about this too, that I just noticed, is when we were using this before, what I would notice is it would do something and it would break the build, and it would have to go and adjust. And Cursor was very good about fixing its own errors, fixing its own types, its own TypeScript. I haven't seen any mistakes yet. I haven't seen anything in here where it's even a TypeScript error. I've got fairly tight, TypeScript rules going here. Nothing. It's just getting it one shot every single time. Again, part of this is because we're scoping this correctly, right? We're using this approach. We're making all these one story point story. That's your magic word. Remember, always say that. You'll get the right level of detail for most things that can be done by an LLM. And again, if Sonnet 3.6 was able to do 95% of this, I haven't seen a miss yet. I have not seen a miss yet. This model is just through the roof. Okay, here comes our joystick. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, this is so fun. Oh my gosh, is it actually going to build me an arcade cabinet? I'm such a dork. We remodeled our basement a couple of years ago, and I made it look like an 80s arcade. I've got like a couple of I got like a Pac-Man machine down there. I've got a NFL Blitz. We have a Papa Shot game. So I'm into this stuff, and it's like the little details here are so neat. I'm just loving this. I'm loving it so much. I'm actually just I'm reading Ready Player One. Again, my son just started reading it and had it on had our Libby audiobook, and I saw it there and I was like, I should listen to this again. And I love it. It's so fun. This is totally reminding me of that. Okay, so what's next? LED score display. Oh, this could be interesting. Let's see what it's doing. There it is. And look at how nicely it's separated these too. Okay. Oh, this code is beautiful. Beautiful. Well documented, not too much, not too little. These details of like the leading zero that makes the difference between it looking kind of janky and looking real pro. It's so nice. And it's doing, look at what it's doing. Oh, it's got the LED segments. You gotta be kidding me right now. This is so cool. This is so cool. I don't know if I could have done this. Guys, the AI's outsmarting me. I mean, AI's been smarter than me for a while now, but it's official. Officially, just a better dev than me in like every single way possible. The subtleties here, right? This glow, this is like, you could easily do an LED, whatever. The different colors, the different sizes. Oh, and look at it go. Look at it go. It's got this little animation. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving this so much. Does it have the blinking cursor? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm like, you guys are probably sick of me just like fawning over this model, but this is legitimately, I've been waiting a long time for this thing, and to see it in action at this level of sophistication, at this level of competency in terms of the code writing abilities, to one-shot everything, in terms of the planning, to actually come up with this plan on the fly based on that random 30-second description of what I'm doing. This is so cool. This is so cool. Let's just accept all. We're in full-on YOLO mode here, guys. All right, keep going. So we're gonna keep going. Okay, let's see where we're at with our list. Oh, is this still using? Oh, this is using the thinking model. This is interesting. I wonder what I should play around with the difference between the thinking and the non-thinking for the actual work. My plan was to use the thinking for the plan and then switch over to the non-thinking for the execution. I wonder if this is a little bit slower, but whatever it is just working like heck. This is awesome. Okay, we got a coin slot. All this work on a coin slot. Oh, I need some sounds. Where's my sound? The sound. Oh, it's gonna be so good. We have credits. Okay, this is good. Okay, what do we got? Where's our story? Do we have our story yet? Okay, it's creating a placeholder for this. Again, just the details. So good. Okay, here comes the story. I don't know anything about this slot, what we're actually trying to do here, but let's take a look at our list again. How far are we going? Okay, so we're about 3, so we're on line. Again, this is we got 89 lines here. This is like a 346 line plan here. And it has, so far, it has not made a single mistake on any of these things. And it's just so impressive in terms of the, oh, there we go. We had a linter error. I caught you. You're not perfect. Okay. This is so fun. Okay, I fixed it. Fine. All right. I was gonna call you out there. I need something. The design details on this. Are you kidding me right now? You've got to be kidding me. Screws. Oh my gosh. You click it to insert the coin with the blinking multiplayer. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is by far the best model I've used in a coding environment. Like, not even close. And again, I know we're doing a game thing, and I know that's like, there's a lot of training data for games and stuff like that. How much training data do you think is in the ability to do this all up in a, maybe some, but honestly, like the aesthetic, like the artistry that is built into this model. You try doing this stuff with like even the smartest O1 Pro, whatever, you end up with stuff that looks like garbage. It looks fine, it's functional, it's okay, but nothing like this. Nothing. I'm telling you, this is So good. Okay, so next up, great. And just keep going. Just keep going. You're doing great there, buddy. Okay, just keep going. It's just going, this whole thing. What's my, what do I don't need to be here. I'm the talking head, I'm boring. The real star here is this model. And I think hopefully you guys are starting to see where this is heading, right? You're starting to see the need. And I say this as a developer who has a lot of experience. I've spent my entire career, I've spent my entire childhood writing code. I've been an IC. You guys can check out my GitHub contribution graph. I write code all day, every day. I love writing code. We've reached a layer of kind of stepping up in this ladder of abstraction where the need to write detailed code and know the syntax and know all that stuff is starting to go away. It's not there yet. This is a great model. It's not perfect, I'm sure. Again, we're doing game stuff that's kind of for fun. Do you guys see where this is going? Hopefully you do, and hopefully you realize and have realized, if you're watching this video, you're one of a relatively small number of developers so far who has really started to understand this deeply. Think about what this means for you. Think about what this means for your career. I'm not saying developers go away. On the contrary, what I have found personally is that I have twice as much, 3x, 4x as much work to do. I also have more time, so I can do fun videos like this. You just think about it from a different perspective, okay? Not from a perspective of fear, from a perspective of opportunity, from a perspective of joy and fun, and taking away all those hours spent on syntax errors, all that junk, okay? And going up a level, thinking deeply about how to design these, thinking deeply about how to leverage the AI in interesting ways, coming up with new techniques and ways to push us even further and further, ways to teach others about this, right? You're one of the first in the world to know how good this stuff is. And trust me, I've been talking to developers about AI coding for a long time, and I've been getting a lot of pushback, and a lot of it's rightful. Models weren't there. They're getting better and better and better. And it was always hypothetical that the models would be good enough someday to eventually be able to do stuff like this. This is here. Again, not the end game, but the trajectory where we're going with this is getting better and better and better and better. And what we have already, you can see this, it's going. It's going. I picked something off the top of my head, I threw it together. It's been working for 30 minutes now, just building and building and building at a high level of code quality. If I went to a front-end dev on my team and we were talking through this stuff, could they pick something apart? Maybe. Is this excellent code that's better than 80-90% of code that a front-end designer would write? Honestly, probably, okay? I mean, no disrespect to front-end developers. There's some excellent developers out there, but right now, guys, the most important thing that you can do is learn how to leverage this. How can you make this work for you? How can you get really, really good at this? You're gonna have such an advantage. And the next year, 2 years, 3 years are going to be a big shift. And we're going to have to adjust, all of us. I'm going to do my part. The whole reason I started these videos is I want to share this information. I don't want this to be behind some paywall. You got to pay $200 for some training that may or may not be good or not good. You guys can decide if this content is valuable to you, but I just want to make it free. I want to make it available, and I want to share every little secret, every little trick I have. I'm not holding stuff back. I want you guys to know this stuff. It's important. It's really important for you as a developer to understand this, see where it's going, and do what you can to stay in front of it, okay? Lecture over. I'm going into dad mode. I'm such a dad here. I'm like, hey, you kids, make sure you're paying attention to AI. I'm such a dork, but I do think it's important. So, okay. So what do we got here? Game screen. We got different aspect ratios. We got class. We have different bezels. Oh, you're kidding me right now. The green terminal, the curved. Oh, look at that curve with the static. My gosh, this brings back memories. You guys, like, I'm sure everybody's watching this is like too young to actually have used the CRT and game design. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start to build up. So we're doing atomic design. We've got these components. We're going to start to build out the cabinet. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. We got our coin size. It's starting to just like put this stuff together. We've got just different styles that it's doing. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. And again, this is something where the details matter. The fact that it's putting together so many of these fairly sophisticated stories, right? This is what I'm interested in. I could care less about the Galaga. Like, yeah, sure, it's going to make some video game. You can do that. The difference here is these are these stories. Look at all this code that it has written. Look at how detailed this code is. Look at how good this code is, okay? Side art. Okay. It's got these like wood grain images, like it's pulling these classes together. It's just super clean code. It's commented in the right area. Okay, this is just like we're just pulling this stuff together. Okay, let's see here what is next. Again, I'm tempted to stop this because I know I've been talking for a while, but I also want to just show you that like this thing is going. There's no tricks here. I'm not secretly like going behind the scenes and like spending 2 days like building a bunch of retro code. I'm not copying anything over. I spent 10 minutes thinking of this example, right? And it's just gonna go. Okay, so control panel. Okay, let's keep going. Great. Keep going. Okay, and again, in a normal app, I would stop here. I'd review everything. This is what you should do, right? As a responsible developer who's doing a real thing. I'm showcasing kind of the capabilities here, not necessarily what you should be doing for a real production code base. But you always need to go and check this. And this is one thing that's going to be important, guys, that as these models get better, you're going to get lazier. Okay, I know it. I'm the laziest of all of you, so I know how this works. It's important not to. There's going to be a whole new set of muscles that you need to build around really focusing in, making sure you're reviewing code properly, making sure that you're not just blindly trusting these models to do exactly what you think they're doing, because often what can happen is 99 times out of 100 it does the right thing, but that one time it fixes a test by removing a component or something, and the next thing you know, yes, looks like everything's great, code passes, tests, but like your sign-in screen is missing, right, and your whole app dies. That kind of stuff happens all the time, and you really need to watch for it. So don't get complacent, don't get lazy here, but also push it, because this is a model that is really, really impressive. Ooh, we have linter mirrors. Oh, look at this. Oh, you added the wrong color. I mean, but up to mistakes, like it's fine. That's fine. Okay, so it's going to add a white. Is it going to add a white, or is it going to take away the white from the before? Let's see what it does here. So we have red, blue, yellow, green. I think I should add the white. If I was writing this code, I'd add the white. And let's see if it's smart enough to do that. I also like how terse these, it's not going crazy and giving us a big dissertation here. This is so good. Okay, it's reading, it's thinking. And this is something it'd be interesting to pause this and to switch over to the original non-thinking and just see what the difference is. I might do that here in a minute, just for the vibes, just to kind of see what's going on. Also, I have to say, oh, how much cursor? Thank you. Oh, there's white. Oh, and a new color. Thank you. And also, the way that you're subsidizing the cost here, because this is a fairly expensive thing. It's actually interesting if you look in the where is this cursor Claude code overview. So the way you set this up is you connect directly to Sonnet, and look at the costs here. This is probably surprising to you. I know it's a lot of people are like, I gotta pay $20 for Pro, and the amount of money that you're saving behind the scenes by using this model through Cursor is actually quite a bit. Sorry, I'm scrolling through. Oh, look at this. Here it is. Claude Code consumes tokens for each interaction. Typical usage costs range from $5 to $10 per developer per day, right? Cursor Pro, $20 a month. And yes, you can hit the limit. I think I hit the limit this month. I'm probably paying $40 for the month. But this is expensive. And notice this. You can exceed $100 per hour during intensive use. My guess is, how do you get more intensive than this? This arcade game is probably costing, if we were doing this, $100, $200, like there's real money here. And so this is going to be interesting kind of longer term to see how Cursor starts to manage this. And yes, the cost of the models are going to go down, but you can start to see a world where, as good as Cursor is, as good as this is, in a year or two, what is DeepSeek R7, R8, R26 going to look like when you have truly open source models, when you have a laptop that has been designed from the ground up, and again, this takes years to do this, ground up to run a model that is capable enough to do even this February 24th, 2005 snapshot of intelligence and instruction following is going to be really good. And the cost isn't going to be $100 or $200. It's going to be free, probably. It's going to be running locally on your laptop. What does that world look like? Huh? Like, that's interesting to me. And that's part of why, again, I spent the past year and a half building an open source coding agent. This week, we're going to go through, we're going to show you guys exactly how to build your own open source versions of this. And yes, maybe you either have to choose between the Sonnet and spending $100 to build something like this, or using a R1 or something that can barely run locally. You might have to host it somewhere, you might have to, but think ahead. Think about where this is going, and think about in a world where Cursor's eating the costs, they've got a bunch of EC subsidized usage right now, probably, I'm guessing, right? What's the right thing long term? What is it? I think it's open source. I think it's something that's open source, that's like this, but you can run locally, you can run models. It's not going to happen tomorrow. This is a long game. And this is something that, again, this is me speculating. I'm vamping as we watch this, but I think it's something to think about, and it's something that if you guys subscribe, we're going to build our own open source version of this. I'll show you how to do it. It's hard, but it's not that hard. Okay, and it's just going to get better and cheaper and faster and more local. And I think that's what's going to win long term. And we'll see. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff in my life, though, guys. So don't take what I say as gospel. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we got our cabinet exterior here. It's trying to do like the wood grain image. So right, if we went and searched for a wood grain image, that'd be kind of cool. What are we doing? Why is this sideways? Okay, we got our buttons. We have this. We have this. This is so fun. Why are these sideways? Is this like a aesthetic choice? I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like not. I feel like it doesn't. There's something a little bit off here, but okay. This is good. Angled panel, curved panel. Look at these different things here. Oh, look at these buttons. Those. Look at the shading on the buttons. That's incredible. Dark mode, right? You're kidding me right now. You are kidding me. We've got to get rid of this like slanted panel thing, right? This is, we have XY. XY? What do you think this is? The 90s? Yeah, I got no XY. We got AB. Come on. Anyway, this is so interesting though. But the angle is so interesting. Let's do flat. There you go. So that's a little bit better. I still don't love how it's like cut off here. It's kind of interesting how it did that. So again, we might have to go in and do some adjustments. And it's actually like, honestly, it's good to see the edges here. It's good to see it's not perfect. This is not some magic box, right? It's not gonna be perfect. You have to pay attention to this stuff. You got to make your own updates, and that's pretty good. Okay, marquee component. Yes, continue. So one thing it's not doing is not just going and yellowing. And actually, let's stop this real quick. Let's see if we can, let's switch over to the regular Sonnet. 3.7. This is the non-thinking mode. Is this gonna be faster? Is it gonna be better? Is it gonna be way worse? I don't know. I haven't used this. It's the very first time using this. So you guys are seeing this in real time as I am. And generating. What we might have to do, so switch over to thinking. I wonder if it's because we started this chat. This might just be a bug in Cursor. Because we started this as a thinking, we may not be able to switch halfway through. I might have started a new composer thing, and honestly, it's probably not the end of the world to start a new one. You start to lose, even though this has a bigger context window, you start to lose fidelity as this goes, and so I think it's always good at this point to kind of stop and create a new one. Again, I'm pushing this to see where the edges are, to see how good this thing is. But let's look at this marquee. I mean, think about all these details that are going into this. I mean, this is really not just like a basic thing. It's going into so many details here. Game selection. I can't wait to see this story. Let's get it. Okay, so it's doing, again, I actually really like what it's doing. It's not trying to do like a bunch of SVG stuff. It's just telling you like, hey, stick your Pac-Man logo here, right? Where are my sounds? I thought we had sounds. There's art left to right. We have our wood grain. Oh, did it try to do a PNG? I don't think it did. I think it's, okay. It's interesting here. Notice that we got a little thing here. Because these are MP3s, I'll bet if I change this, I think this is just text, honestly. Well, let's do another stuff. Anyway. But these are just texts that basically say, like, to this. Okay, I want to see this marquee. Let's see this marquee. Pacman.txt. I really want to get like I should pause the video here, get some things in here. It'll look so much more impressive, but again, the whole point here is we're testing the vibes. We want to see how this is working. Okay, so I'm not gonna cheat, not gonna do anything fancy. Let's just see how this is going. Okay. We're gonna refresh here and okay. See, it's like you've got your dots. If you had Tetris, why did Tetris show up? That's so funny. But you can see where what this should look like. Donkey Kong? What? Are you really gonna make me Donkey Kong? That'd be so cool. It's interesting because it kind of went back and forth between logos and the actual text kind of rendered out here. I wonder why it did that. But I see. So it's got a couple different. Look at this. It's got wait to see automatic transitions. It's got the transitions every 5 seconds. So it has different logos. So this is a text, right? Notice that little blink, that 80s style blinking. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, Centipede. The colors are right too. Oh, Tetris is in this blue, right? I know my Tetris. Okay, let's choose some of these. So these, a little bit off here with the colors here. But my gosh, this is impressive. This is so impressive. Okay, we're running. How far have we gone, guys? It's been about an hour. I've got like my lunch break is almost up, and this video is going on like an hour. So, okay. Let's do this last one. Let's do this assemble cabinet. We want to pull everything together, and then I'm going to pause this video here. I'll probably jump back in when it's done just to show you what we did. But again, I hope you guys can see that how much it's able to do with literally no human interaction besides that initial thing. There's been some good models in the past. This is by far the best I have seen, and I'm really just kind of blown away by this. I'm really blown away. Look at this, it's coming up with a plan in real time. I'm kind of speechless. Okay, last one, let's check this out. So hopefully what it's doing is it's pulling together all of these, it's pulling together all the UI components it's made so far, and it's going to make a complete arcade machine. Oh boy, let's see. Okay. Oh, we have a linter error. What is this autofix? That's so interesting. This is new. I love that. Always fixed manually. Who are you talking to? Come on. Did we really need that? Come on. You know who you're talking to. I would never do that. Okay, here we go. Green. We got it. Okay, so this is fun. So notice what it's doing, right? It's using its own pieces. It's using its own components. It's not trying to rebuild this from scratch. This is exactly what it should be doing. And it's got these smart defaults in here. Love that it chose classic wood as the default. We're doing the retro. You know me too well. Got these beautiful ambient lighting. What are we doing? What is it? Look at this. What are we doing? Oh, look at this. Look at how smart this is. So if you guys know Tailwinds, this is so interesting. It's doing a gradient where it's going from transparent to a 20% transparent purple back to transparent. So this is just going to be the slightest sheen. Like this is just, these details are incredible to me. Oh, just incredible. And look at this thing. Okay, I can't wait to see this. Okay, we got a storybook. Almost got it. Let's see what we got here. Here it is. Okay, I think this will be the finale. Let's see what we built. Please be amazing. Oh, look what we have. Look what we have. What is happening here? Okay, don't love that, but this is... It's just... Do you see that coin? The credits are going up. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. Okay. Here's our cabinet styles. Okay, first, this is pretty far. This is actually pretty far. I think what's happening here is if you actually look at the cabinet, is it this? Yeah. It didn't put these things in here. So it's like, it's a little bit, it's confused with what the cabinet exterior is and what this assembled cabinet is. Our controls are a little bit off, right? So this is important, this is good. So I've been fawning over this thing, how amazing it is. But when it actually pulled together this final thing, you know, if you just looked at this and you'd be like, this model, like whatever, this is such junk, this isn't great. I want you to think about the details. I want you to think about like, what is behind the scenes here. This is, you can choose different things here. Oh, wait, what? No. Are we playing this? What do we got here? There's Galaga. Oh, Street Fighter 2. I wish. Can you imagine, guys, if it actually built Street Fighter 2? It's one of my favorite games. My brother and I, anytime we're together, we always try to play some Street Fighter. Okay. Game selection. This is cool. Okay. So again, Space Invaders. What? This is not really Space Invaders. Galaga. This game's really fun, actually. Street Fighter 2. Oh my gosh. It changed the buttons. Look at those buttons. This is Street Fighter 2 style. Low kick, medium kick, high kick. Okay. I know this isn't quite right in terms of the layout and stuff, but geez. Some of these details are so good. Okay, well, anyway, guys, I'm going to stop this here. The vibe check off the charts here. And again, I know that the final thing here isn't quite right. This is, I'll go through and probably clean this up maybe. But I want you to think about what it's doing behind the scenes, some of the big picture stuff it's doing, the complexity of what it's trying to pull together here. It's just really, really, really impressive. Okay, and again, you can point to the end and be like, this model sucks. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't underestimate what's happening here. This is really good. Okay, it's really good. Not perfect, but it's really good. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe. I got more stuff coming, but I just wanted to do a quick one here.